Welcome to Movie Fantasy, where we'll be showing you the newest television shows to keep you entertained. The final episode of Becoming Elizabeth begins with a 2-month time jump in episode 8. Dudley is present as the king lies in bed, terribly ill. The doctor assures him that the king will be well shortly, but he isn't so sure. Instead, Dudley decides that enough is enough and dispatches a courier to deliver a message to Mary. Mary travels to see the king while riding with Pedro and her other devoted subjects despite the kingdom's ongoing unrest. She meets with Dudley and requests that he free Bishop Gardiner. She also requests that he attend a Catholic church so that she can pray for her brother. Finally, she requests that Dudley get out of her FC King way. The meeting is intense, and it becomes much more so when Edward implores Mary to become a Christian. Following that letter regarding the infidelity, Elizabeth is still angry with her sister and observes from a distance. Mary ultimately apologizes, but their wounds are still very open. One thing about Becoming Elizabeth that I must say is that I was correct. To what do you refer? That would mean that Mary is extremely frightful. Like frightful due to her desire for power and to uphold her religious beliefs. She has genuinely lost her mind. And based on the conclusion, it's clear that she's just a little bit crazy. But let's go backward. Everyone is concerned about the king's potential demise because he is ill. But not because he would perish, rather, since they have all damaged their relationship with Mary. And if she takes the crown, they must mend it. Dudley sums it up well when he says he needs to construct a bridge. They do in great numbers. After all they've done to convert the nation to Protestantism, I think we can all understand why people are afraid of a Catholic ruling. Given that he took everything from Mary's church, Dudley ought to be afraid. She despises him and is furious. However, he makes an effort to mend fences with Mary by writing to her and informing her that Edward is ill. She arrives immediately, of course, but if I'm being completely honest, I believe she was simply there to prepare for her succession. The truth is, being a king is just a game. If there's anything we've learned from watching this show, it's that everyone aspires to have influence, status, and favor. You play chess with everything you do in the hopes that you won't be outwitted. Dudley recognizes that his time has arrived from the minute Mary shows up. Mary will ensure that he suffers as soon as she has the chance. He ought to be the one who is frightened by Mary instead of me. The fact is that Mary is a central figure in Becoming Elizabeth. She's a total badass who gives a fuck. She had friends, but she also had fears. She wished she had a better life than she had. I don't anticipate everyone to be aware of Mary wasn't truly present when Edward passed away. Therefore, I questioned why they took the liberty of having her there, especially because this show put me on a history deep dive. However, I also believe that she won't be because she and Elizabeth were expelled from the court prior to Edward's passing. The unknown. We'll get to that, though. You can tell that Mary and Edward are in love when she comes in court to visit Edward. She wants to be there for her brother, shield him from harm, and prevent him from crying. She has, in my opinion, served as both a mother figure and a sister to him. Elizabeth and Mary, though, remain inseparable. Mary has no concern about her sister. By the way she treats her and all of the garbage she says about her, you can tell for sure. Elizabeth has been unfairly treated by Mary, but she has also exploited her as a scapegoat. When she begins to cry and tells Elizabeth that she regrets what she said, I almost want to believe that she is sorry. However, given how quickly those tears disappear, I don't think she is regretful. Both Mary and Elizabeth are moving forward. Dudley hinted at Elizabeth by saying that he would go to any lengths for her just like he had for her father. Why not try to kill Mary even though he knows she will kill him? Mary, on the other hand, travels with Pedro to Somerset's house in an effort to win him over. Although Somerset has previously broken his vows to her, she is aware that he is still the finest person for her to have by her side. The monarch is still alive, despite all these maneuvers being made. There's always a chance he'll make a full recovery. The monarch is still alive, despite all these maneuvers being made. There's always a chance he'll make a full recovery. Because Edward is a child, he will undoubtedly believe whatever that is stated to him. Somerset would undoubtedly side with Mary since he wants to regain his position as leader. Although he is stupid, he is not a fool. He must fix the mess. Additionally, he doesn't really care about the people he hurts along the road. I understand that Somerset has attempted to please everyone, but his efforts have not been successful. Look at where he's ended up. After all, he and Mary decide to deal with Mary's opposition to the throne. She takes Elizabeth, while he takes Dudley. The classic "my dick is bigger than yours" debate occurs between Dudley and Somerset. However, Mary is in Elizabeth's room when she awakens, and she suggests that they go hunting. Elizabeth goes despite knowing that this is a trap. Mary, on the other hand, lets everyone know that Elizabeth is being used as a pawn. She also expresses that she doesn't think much of her sister, but Elizabeth is furious. She had a look on her face that says, "Fuck you, Mary." If Elizabeth remembers where she is, Mary assures her, everything will be okay. Elizabeth is aware that Mary has essentially warned her not to go after the throne or else I'll go after you. Due to this, Elizabeth calls Dudley and informs him that she desires the throne but will not seek it. Dudley naturally tells her what he thinks of Mary after leaving the room. Mary is now prepared to throw him into the tower the next day. In an effort to survive, Elizabeth has taken the sisters' side. But as Dudley prepares to head to the tower, they learn that Edward has made a full recovery. The following day, Dudley arranges for Somerset to be put to death in the tower. Pedro arrives to the execution so Somerset is not alone and is able to block Somerset's son's vision when his father is being beheaded. After a feast at night, Dudley of course throws Mary and Elizabeth under the bus and exiles them from court. They are offending Edward, who doesn't want to see them. Elizabeth is informed by Mary that she doesn't love her. They argue and then joke about how being a woman isn't easy. But at least they are safe as long as Edward is in power. After informing Edward that his sisters aren't the only ones with royal blood, Dudley summons Jane Grey to court. We come to a conclusion with Edward vomiting up more blood. None of us had anticipated that his recuperation would last. Dudley, the young king is dying, so you might need to focus on strategy. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for additional videos with recaps of TV shows. Fantasy from movies is a constant. Thank you for visiting my channel.